Hey guys, it's AJ here. I am the voice of the past few videos and I'm finally showing my face. And today we are going to differentiate gold versus steel nibs. So let's get started. So for context, in the olden days, they used dip pens for their writing tool. And these dip pens were made from stainless steel. And their inks are iron gal, which can possibly corrode their steel nibs. So what they do is that they wipe it down immediately after use. And then, when fountain pens were invented, they opted to use gold for their nibs so that the formula back then for iron gals would not corrode the nib. So yeah, so what makes a gold nib special? First and foremost, the consensus for gold nibs is that they are smooth riders. Sailor nibs, however, they have this famous pencil-like feedback, but actually, if you write with them, it's I just can't explain it. It's so smooth. It has this pencil feedback, but at the same time, it doesn't catch on the fibers of the paper. Another thing that people like about gold nibs is that when you write with it, it's not stiff that it's hard against the paper, but it's actually pretty bouncy because gold as a metal is a soft metal compared to stainless steel nibs. And of course, when you buy gold nibs, it comes with its own aesthetic. Some nibs actually have the very intricate details on it, especially here on a sailor nib, which has, you can see, some people, when they write with gold nibs, they compare it to butter because of how smooth it writes and also how juicy and wet and well tuned it is, and also because it ultimately just feels like heaven to write with. I asked my friend once how she felt about writing with gold nibs, and she just said that it's so different from writing with steel nibs. It's like on a whole another different level. Let's now move on to steel nibs. This is a Twisby Eco and I got it in a broad nib. What I like about steel nibs is that they are affordable, they are great starter pens, and they just fit your budget and are very beginner friendly. Though the only downfall that I can think of when buying stainless steel nibs is that it's very hit or miss, wherein you can buy cheap ones that are great writers or expensive ones that are problematic writers and vice versa. So it's really depending on the company's quality control and how you take care of your nibs. And my preference is that I buy from a brand that I trust, that I know will work, and that I know that I don't have to tune it, and that it writes good out of the box. Then the same goes for gold nibs, that you can buy really expensive ones that may or may not work, and cheap ones, the starter gold nib pens that are actually great writers such as Sailor Pro Gear Slims, and the likes. The general consensus is that it all comes down to preferences. If you prefer gold nibs, then that's totally fine, but if you like steel nibs more, then that's okay too. And it doesn't really matter what other people say about your nib collection. It's a matter of how well you write with them or how well they fit your style. So, what is my preference? I like steel nibs, but I like them when they are in broader sizes, medium and above. And for gold nibs, I like them to be finer, but I haven't really tried broad gold nibs, so maybe that will make the switch for me. But right now, I like steel nibs because the Twisby ones that I own are my workhorse pens, especially this pink one, especially if they are in broad. So I like how juicy and thick the nib writing is, and just love it overall for everyday carry. doesn't really matter what your preference is as long as you're enjoying writing with your pen and that it makes you ultimately it makes you happy. So, to recap, gold nibs are much more expensive, but they are very good quality because they are smooth writers, they glide like butter, and they don't drag on the paper that you write with. While steel nibs are a little bit more affordable and very beginner friendly. They can also be smooth writers depending on the brand and how you take care of them, but they have a little bit more of a drag to them when you write with it. But it becomes a little bit smoother each broader size of the nib. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know your preference down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!